my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're doing a palette bingo. Today's theme is holiday palettes. I did a fall palette bingo, I did a spooky palette bingo, so now it's time for probably the last palette bingo of 2024, featuring a bunch of new holiday palettes. I'm going to use a random number generator to select one shade from each of these 5 palettes, and then hopefully I'll be able to create a beautiful curated holiday look or just some kind of eye look. We'll see how the shades shake out. Before we choose the shades, let me show you which palettes we're using today. Of course, we have the 2 new holiday releases from Oden's Eye. I always look forward to these. This is my favorite of the 2 new Oden's Eye holiday palettes. This one's called Silvery Bliss. And we also have Rosy Jingle. Very pink and red coming from Oden's Eye this year. This one is the newest to my collection. I just recently filmed a review of this Gourmande Girls palette. This one's called Frozen Kiss. Got some purples and blues in here. Speaking of purples and blues, we have the ColourPop Frosty the Snowman palette. This one is very light, very pastel, blue-centric. I can see this one and Frozen Kiss working really well together. And lastly, keeping with the blue theme, we have the Polar Express palette from Nomad Cosmetics. Now, we won't necessarily get a blue out of here. We do have some neutrals, a little red and gold. So we're just going to see where the random number generator takes us. I'm going to work my way backwards through my stack here. So we're going to choose a shade first from Nomad's Polar Express palette. This one has 15 eyeshadow shades, so I'm going to set my random number generator to be 1 through 15. Okay, I got shade number 6. So let's see where that takes us. 5, 6. Okay, a bright matte white shade. I could see this being really useful in a lot of looks. This one's called Snowy Mountain. I'm just going to do a little swatch collection on my arm here. Wow, that's a really impressive matte white. Sometimes those shades can be a little dry, a little patchy, so I'm impressed by that one. Frosty the Snowman also has 15 shades. I got shade number 5, so that is surprisingly not a blue. It's this little pinky mauve, also matte shade. This one's called Thermometer. So let's add a little thermometer swatch there. That one's quite light. Okay, all right. Most likely going to get something a lot more bold from the Frozen Kiss palette. This one has 14 shades, so I need to reset the generator to be 14. And we got shade number 9, so that is 7, 8, 9. Oh, it's this swirly tie-dyed shade called Snow Globe. Definitely an interesting choice. Okay, all right, let's swatch that one. A beautiful foily shade. So far, these look great together. Let's see if we can throw off the color scheme with some Oden's Eye palettes now. Both of the Oden's Eye holiday palettes have 16 shadows. Rosy Jingle, I got shade number 5. So that is 2, 3, 4, 5. This blue shimmery shade. This one is called Sparkling. Let's put this one right here. That looks really pretty so far. I'm definitely hoping I get something a little bit deeper from the Silvery Bliss palette. Okay, lastly for Silvery Bliss, I got shade number 5. This one called Vision. Okay, I said I wanted something darker, so I guess I got that. We have a very shimmer heavy color palette today. It's a little bit warmer than some of the other shimmers, but I think I can work with this. It's going to be very sparkly, which I actually love. All right, here's a look at my color palette. Not quite sure what I'm gonna do yet, but I'm just gonna start putting eyeshadow on and see what happens. I think it's gonna be fine. Right? Yeah, totally. Okay, let's zoom in and get started. Wish me luck. First things first, I'm going to prep my lids with my favorite eye base. It's the matte eye primer from Ulta Beauty. I was tempted to go in with the white first, but I really wanted to try to give each one of these shades a chance to take center stage for part of the eye look. So I decided to lay down some of this pink matte shade first called Thermometer. I'm really messily putting that all over my crease area and also really putting that under the lower lash line as well. This is really my foundational color. Instead of white, I'm going with the pink. And then I'm going to use this shade called Snow Globe, which in person I think looks more blue. Here on camera, it does come across as a little bit more purpley. I think it's because the way my studio lighting is interacting with the shimmers in here that it's really activating some of those pinky shimmers. But in person, this look was a lot more pink and blue, at least to my eyeballs. So I just put that snow globe shade all over my lids using my finger, and I'm just going to blend the edges and really make sure that that pink shade is standing out by layering a little bit on top of the outer edges of the snow globe shade. And now to feature this matte white, I decided to use the shade Snowy Mountain on my inner corner and on my brow bone underneath the arch of my brow to be a matte highlight. Because this matte white shade is so bright, it really gives that highlight effect without having any shimmer. I don't necessarily think that using a matte shade for this is the most flattering way to go about the eye look, but I think that it actually looked pretty impactful in the context of a wintry holiday type of look. So even though it's not going to be my go-to to put a matte white in these spots, it still looks great with this look, and it's definitely giving that frosty glamorous snow fairy type of vibe that I was going for. For the pale blue shimmer shade called Sparkling, I added that on the very inner corners to make that matte white area and the snow globe shade sort of transition into one another more seamlessly. And then I decided to build up even more of that snow globe shimmer, more concentrated towards the outer part of my lid so that I could get a little bit of an ombre effect. And for this deep purple shimmer, I'm using a super stiff flat brush and I'm smudging that right along the very, very outer part of my lash line. It's almost like a smudgy faux liner type of look, but I think the way that it blends into the snow globe shade, it is very, very subtle. It's more like an eye contour than an eyeliner. I do wish that this deep purpley shade had a little bit more of a chance to show up and take a little bit more of the spotlight of this look, but I didn't want to just go to my normal comfort zone of creating a shimmery purple eye look. For me, the whole point and really the whole fun of these palette bingo videos challenges is to create something different than what I normally go to force myself to choose color combinations outside of my usual go-tos. And for that reason, I do think that this deep purple shade got a little bit lost in the sauce. But at the end of the day, I ended up with a really cute eye look that I enjoyed wearing all day and was definitely outside of what I would have typically chosen for myself. So I definitely consider this look to be a big success. I actually love the way this eye look turned out, which is a little bit unexpected, even though I feel like I got a pretty good little color story out of my palette bingo. This look is very pastel pink and blue heavy, which are not my favorites. I don't love pink, I don't love pastels, and I don't love blue. So the fact that this turned out so well is it's really the Christmas miracle. I'm kind of sad I used it on this eye look, but here we go. I was trying so hard not to lean on this purple shade that I got from the Silvery Bliss palette that I do think that shade got a little bit lost. I think it's the one that is least well featured by this look. I just didn't want to rest on my laurels, and purple is my favorite eyeshadow color. So I was trying not to make a very purple centric look. And in the process of doing that, I do think that I kind of lost this shade a little bit. It definitely added some much needed depth to the look, but I don't think that the color itself really has the opportunity to shine. But I do think that the other four shades are nicely featured in this eye look. So overall, I'd give myself like a B minus on this look. I do have full swatch and review videos featuring all of the palettes that you saw in today's palette bingo. Those are going to be linked in the description box. So if any of these caught your eye, you want to know more, you want to see swatches or other looks, check the description box and I will have those videos one click away for you there. I would love to hear what you think about this look. What kind of palette bingos do you want to see in the future? Do you want to see more with holiday palettes, even if it's post-holiday season? And have you ever tried a palette bingo? This is definitely something you can do with your own collection just to get out of your comfort zone and maybe mix up which shades and which palettes you're reaching for on a regular basis. It's really a fun experiment. Even if you don't end up with your new favorite eye look, it's still just a fun journey to be on. Make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Alright, I'm ready. Oh, did I forget to do a thumbnail? Always forgetting to do a thumbnail. Okay, that was probably really weird. Kind of the usual for me. Woo! Hello. Look at my little earrings. I put some new earrings in my Etsy shop. Is this a terrible time to post new products on Etsy? Like a number of days before Christmas? Yeah, it is, but here we are. Hey! This is actually really cute. Look at me. Blue and pink. Who is she? I feel like every palette bingo I end up with pink. Every time. I'm not ready for end of the year, best of the year rankings. I'm not ready for any of that. I need to be ready. I need to be filming those like literally right now, but instead I'm filming palette bingos because that's fun. I have leftover black bean enchiladas and I'm really excited to have that for lunch. So I have one more thing I have to film and then it's enchilada time. Okay. And that's what's getting me through this morning. Knowing that I have a spicy black bean enchilada waiting for me in the refrigerator downstairs. Thanks for watching. I'm happy that you're here. You're just a little treat. And everybody should treat you accordingly. And I love your face. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.